I think it is almost obvious that an ignorant person does not know that he or she is ignorant. One can be sure that in oneself we cannot detect it, because ignorance is complete darkness. And that if I am ignorant, I'll never come to know that I am ignorant. Because as soon as we know that I am ignorant, we search for the answer, or we search for the knowledge, and we get it, we remove it if needed. Here ignorance means the basic ignorance, lack of essential knowledge, not ignorance about other things. So that we can be aware of, but not about the basic, the essential knowledge. Sometimes it is impossible. There is a kind of person who is not even ignorant, because ignorance means presence of assumptions and beliefs which were never tested, which were simply assumed to be true. So they keep believing that whatever I know or whatever I have assumed or somebody has told me is perfectly okay, it's true. So ignorance is actually presence of beliefs. There are people who don't have these beliefs. They are called innocent people. Innocence. And they do not have knowledge, obviously, but they do not have any other belief. So if you go and tell them, look, you don't know all these things, some philosophy and some spirituality, they will admit, yes, I don't know. And sometimes they will say, I don't also need to know, I am happy. But an ignorant person will not admit this. As soon as they get a hint that, yes, I don't know really, they start searching. That can be cleared. Now the other part, in others, it will be again difficult. Only those who have knowledge will be able to tell that somebody knows something or not. Can an ignorant person tell that somebody else is ignorant? And it is not really likely. Chances are very less. How will they evaluate somebody else if they themselves don't know? Usually ignorant person will seek approval, whether the other person says the same thing that I believe or not. And if the other person also says the same thing, they will say, yes, he knows everything. And if they say something else, true or false, knowledge, ignorance, that is not the point. It can be something different, even slightly. And the ignorant person will say, no, he does not know anything, because my beliefs are not matching with the other person. So they cannot diagnose ignorance in other. And those who know, they actually don't want to find out who is ignorant, who is not, at least on the path of knowledge. And there is no judgment about anybody. Only if somebody requests that whether I know this thing correctly or not, the seeker on the path of knowledge will take the trouble of checking, what do you know, tell me. And usually these people are teachers or gurus. Why else somebody will go to somebody else to ask whether I'm ignorant or not? Usually an ignorant person never does this. Now the point of suffering. Yes, ignorance causes suffering. But still it is difficult for an ignorant person to recognize that the suffering is coming from me, myself. I'm suffering because I don't know, I don't have any knowledge. And they usually find a cause outside them, that I'm miserable because of somebody else or something else or government, or they blame something supernatural. And those who have knowledge, they also suffer, but they do not blame anybody. They blame themselves, or they know why they are suffering, and their suffering disappears immediately sometimes because of awareness. So when you see somebody suffering and you have knowledge, you can say that they are ignorant, that's why they are suffering. But it's never guaranteed. Probably they are not. Probably, let us say there is some disease in the body and that person is knowledgeable but suffering. And one thing is sure, that there is no set formula, there is no law that can tell you who is ignorant, who is not. It becomes really complicated when people are highly educated and they have studied philosophies and they are spiritual also. Then it becomes really complicated matter to tell whether they are ignorant or whether I am ignorant about their state. It happens between people of different paths. The person of one path will say, I know everything, don't teach me. And the person of the other path will say, no, you don't know. This is the truth, not that. So it becomes a really big problem. Anyhow, you will know from your own experience. And really, we need to find out our own ignorance and leave the others. That is not practical.